All right. Yes. Hello. Hello. We're live now. Today we're talking about the surprising way that reunion happens. And I'm currently live on Facebook, and Instagram is setting up. Hello. Hello, folks on Instagram. Welcome. Welcome. So, how reunion actually happens. Okay. Why do I care about this topic so much? I had to get back to this. And even though everything else is majorly important, the ego, aligning with your soul, your energy, inner child healing, healing from the roots, and all this kind of stuff. But you're on a journey of reconnecting with yourself and your soul partner, your twin flame, your divine love. Okay. You are on this journey to experience that. So, I want to say let go of thinking that it's anything different than that. But align with your soul's inner knowing, okay? Really important, guys. Align with your soul's inner knowing. You take what information resonates, you feel it with your soul that it's aligned, and you move forward with that. People reach out to me and they're like, 𝐿, someone else said this, I can't believe. Well, guess what? It's not aligned. If you're pissed off by the information, it's not aligned. But if the information is meant for you, it will find its way to you. Okay, it will. Your soul is going to guide you on what to do to experience this connection. And if it's anything like walk away or forget this person, block them, things like that, your soul tells you all of that when you're tuning in. Okay. And so reconnection with the person that gets you the most feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like you feel at peace. Your heart just feels really warm. It's like there's no words to describe it. And this is something I truly want all of you to experience. Now, I get it. Some people are like, well, my twin flame is behaving this way and I don't want that person and all this kind of stuff. This journey is not about that. It's not about that. And if you're feeling that way, I truly sympathize. I'm not going to discredit your feelings. Your feelings do matter. And again, this is not twin flame related, although it's going to feel like it is. A lot of the times when you're pissed off about someone else, living situation, your coworkers, all this kind of stuff, it's because they are reflecting some parts within yourself, and literally nothing on this journey is personal. The experiences you've had with your twin flame or you're currently having are not personal, and they are an extension of yourself where there's a reflection that's taking place. Yes, there is. Okay, let's not forget that there's a reflection taking place within yourself. Okay, I gotta put that down a little bit. All right, so I'm feeling story time. I'm gonna give you this example. Bear with me, okay? This example is not twin flame related, but it helps you to see it. Okay, sometimes just when you see information or connect with information apart from twin flame, when you really go into it and learn the things that you're learning on the twin flame journey, the different concepts, it helps you to understand it. So I'll give you this example. You're working with coworkers you cannot stand. Okay, if that has happened to you, let me know if this has happened to you, right? I know it certainly happened to me. Or perhaps I didn't take anything personally, but there were people who wanted to get under my skin, who wanted to test my boundaries, my limits, and all this kind of stuff in the workplace. I work with people whose jobs were literally to get me in trouble. And they made it a 9-to-5 job to get me in trouble, especially when I was part of the management team. It is the ridiculousness, right? But the reason why, if you're in a work environment like this, the reason why it's in your physical space, you're there, is because the workplace with a bunch of people is what I call a stew of traumatic experiences you've had in this pot in one place. Okay. Yeah. Someone in that workplace is going to make you remember your father behaved this way, your mother behaved this way, the teacher behaved this way, the church, somebody. When you take a look at it, take a step back and say, okay, what are they showing me? Or perhaps they're showing you how you need to speak up more, your boundaries and all this kind of stuff. This thing has been happening all around. But when we look at the situation and we say, how dare they? Why are they? We're missing the point. We're missing the point. Okay. So I express that for those of you who are still like, I can't stand my twin flame. Like, I don't want the, that's my little thing there for you. So let's get back to today's topic, the surprising way that twin flame reconnect, so you know what that looks like. Okay, and I'm going to step back a little bit. In case you're new to my channel, my name is 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐩𝐚𝐫𝐢𝐧𝑠. I've been assisting twin flames for 7 years. If you've been hearing me say 8, I did the math, it's actually 7. And I'm part of that twin flame collective, I would say 2018. If you are, let me know. If your journey started around there, 2016, 17, 18, and so on. If it started before that, that's fine. I'm just noticing that a lot of people I interact with, usually around that time, and then there's more people from different places. That's not very relevant, but these are the things that I'm observing with those in that range, in that collective, starting around the 2016 mark. Okay, so many twin flames are experiencing reunion right now, whether it is, and this could be you. If it's not you, it's coming, whether it's with your twin flame or a soul partner that's being called in to walk that path with you. And again, if a soul partner comes in, I'm just like, what is the universe up to? What is the universe up to? Okay, so enjoy the connection, enjoy the time, and just enjoy, and don't put a label on, this is my recommendation to you, on anybody. All right, the person is there to walk that path with you, and your soul lets you know. So if you hear messages like what I'm just saying, and from anyone else, just know your soul lets you know. So if it's true for you in this moment that is your twin flame, it's your twin flame. Okay, it's no one else. Not what the psychic reader says, not what, no. If it still holds that it's this particular person you identify with as twin flame, that's what it is. If it's a soul partner that comes in, your soul lets you know. Okay, this is nothing of the mind, nothing created by the mind. And again, nothing's personal. Hi, Kimberly, you said definitely has happened to you. Yep. All right, so a lot of people are experiencing this. You are being prepared for reconnection. Okay, this entire journey was preparing you for reconnection before you even knew you were on a twin flame journey. And so you experience trauma, pain, all kinds of stuff. You learn beliefs that are not yours at an early age. And then you draw in people who tested you, who might have hurt you, ignored you, and all this kind of stuff. And so you go through these intense, painful moments. And if you're here, you hung on, and I'm so proud of you, because that's how painful these moments can be. And then it's like the journey, if this doesn't resonate, again, it doesn't resonate. The journey prepares you for the healing of all that crap. Okay, so it sets you up, and then you meet your twin flame, and the experience that you have, that bubble love phase, feels amazing, feels really good. And you're just like, oh my goodness, I want more. I want more of that. Okay, you feel that way, and perhaps your twin is like, oh my goodness, I see myself. I wasn't ready to see myself. Like, I don't know about this. Like, I was hiding these parts of myself, because the two of you see what you are ready to experience, and you embrace it, but perhaps they didn't. And then this is when that so-called runner chaser begins, right? So what happened next? What happened next? You dived into it. All right, what is happening here? How do I heal this? Your soul starts to ask you all kinds of questions. Not ask you. Your soul is showing you all these questions, like these questions are coming inside of you. A lot of people are like, I think it's this way, I believe it's this way, and they start doubting it. This is number one. Number one, if you ever find yourself saying, I think, I feel, maybe, the answer is yes. Okay? The answer is yes. So you're over here like, maybe I need to, perhaps I need, and your soul just keeps working on that. And so the whole time when you're experiencing pain before your twin flame, before meeting them, after meeting them, you felt like you were failing. But I'm here to tell you this entire journey has been preparing you to experience that great love, divine love headed your way. So many of you did a lot of healing. You follow a lot of information, that kind of stuff. You really worked on yourself, which is really great. You want to continue to work on yourself. I do offer one-on-one service. And it's not work on yourself. You're not working on yourself, but you're aligning with who you are inside, and you're relieving old programmings, outdated stuff that never really worked with you, that makes it hard to experience a connection with another person. So this is where I come in. I don't just tackle meditation, energy, but we really go into those blocks to connection, the ego, understanding that, not letting it take over you and all this kind of stuff. And when they're in ego, how you don't take it personal either. Okay, so these are the things that we go into. I did put the link down below. So if this sounds like something you want to do, where you really want to dive deeper into the pain, into healing any blocks within yourself and that kind of stuff, the service is certainly available to you. Okay, so you've done this work, this amazing work, and then your soul begins to guide you. And this is where it gets tricky, because when the soul starts guiding you and it says, all right, well, you need to do this, you need to call them, you need to, I don't, whatever it is your soul is doing, okay? My soul went crazy, like totally crazy, off I'm hearing off the yin yang, or however that phrase goes, right? Because for myself, once I heard, congratulations, you're how did it go? You're in union, is what I heard. Congratulations, you're in union with your twin flame. Now go get him. I had no idea where he was. I had no clue. I wasn't trying to look for him. I thought it was done. His I want to say higher self came through one night. It was really quiet. I was by myself, and I heard, I'm not choosing you because your energy was too much. I wasn't even looking for him, right? And so when I heard this, I went into the deep end. I cried. I'm like, how dare you? I'm not being chosen. Constant theme of my story, right? And so I had given up. And when the universe came in, or my soul said this to me, I was like, well, I have no clue how to find him. And literally, I believe it was like the next day, you guys have seen the story, ran into him, and I'm like, no way. All right. And so that was the moment my soul, the universe, God, just went totally nuts with this connection. And it was constantly, he was working at a store, at a pharmacy store nearby. So there are constant messages around that, constant issuing, can you go to the store? Constant. And I was like, I don't chase. I was like, stop telling me what to do. I do not chase. Okay. I still have fear in the connection. It was really, really hard to do all of this. If this was you, then I'm letting you know your soul is ready. Okay. If you're getting the guidance, go to them, call them, do this. Your soul is ready. That's what I mean by this is the tricky part. When your soul is talking to you and you're like, I don't want to. Okay. When it's the moment when you got to be real with yourself, you have to be real. You've been wanting this moment. You've been calling in this moment. And then perhaps you gave up on the moment and you're like, I can't stand the person, which is not your true feelings for a lot of you. For some of you, it's a true feeling. For many of you, you're like, I don't want to be with them, but I'm seeing signs and messages and synchronicities in the universe that show me their names everywhere. I just don't want it. Okay. But your soul is showing you something. Your soul is showing you something. And when your soul is guiding you and is showing you and you're feeling resistant to it, this is first place to consider. Why are you resisting it? Okay, why are you resisting it? You know, I was truly, I have to say, really big on resisting. I really was. I saw it for everyone else, but I had intense fear of being rejected and stuff like that. And I want to say the universe never gave up on me and isn't giving up on you either. And I'm so happy for what had unfolded. Once I really began to take a look at that resistance and that kind of stuff, I created, this is where the Magnetic Shift ebook, which I was developing for a while, came into existence, was because of that. Because a lot of times we think fear is, what if they leave me? What if, well, actually, it is that. But we believe, if you consider yourself as a so-called chaser, you know, no real names here, but I say it so it's a way you can identify it. If you consider, you feel like you're the only one with that fear. But someone like myself who was running from connection had the same fear. What if I get rejected? What if, oh, he didn't respond for a while, he doesn't want me, I'm the only one who cares, all this kind of stuff, right? So let me plan an exit. Let me, something like this. It's the obsessive thinking happens on both sides. And so if there is that fear, what if? I don't know if they're going to. I'm so terrified. This needs to be looked at, because they're saying promise. They want me to promise this to you. On the other side of that fear is the connection you've been feeling inside of you. You know, what I've got to experience in my own connection is everything my soul was telling me. Everything my soul was telling me. And so when I connect with people and they're like, you know, I'm following all this stuff and I'm really listening to my soul and I'm not seeing it, I'm like, hang in there. I was there too. I was in disbelief, actually. I was just for myself, but believing for everybody. And, you know, I always heard, you've got to believe, Asheen, 100%. You've got to believe just as much as you believe with your clients, believe in your connection. Okay. And if you're a twin flame coach or healer, you're psychic and you help twin flames and you deliver messages and you help people, but you don't quite believe for yourself yet. Okay. You're not alone. It's really hard. Like, I'm hearing people pleasing, very clairaudient messages come in all the time. There's that people pleasing where I will assist others because I'm good at it. My soul is guiding me. I'm here for everyone, but I'm not here for myself. I'll deliver the message because I believe in the message. It's right. It's great for everyone, but I don't believe in it for myself. And it doesn't mean you're a fake or fraud or anything. It means you have a really good heart. You have a really good heart. But this heart, turn it inward. Okay. Every message you hear, and this is why I love my sessions. My sessions are always for me, and your sessions are for you too. If you're meant to be assisting people on the journey, they're for you. Some people feel like I have to be healed in order to work with us. No, your clients come in and they help you with the healing process, right? So you take a look at what's being presented and apply it to yourself too. Don't forget about you, okay? Because again, promise, the love you want is on the other side of the fear you experience when reconnection is taking place. Okay? I repeat, the love you want to experience, this amazing love, no, it's not made up, is on the other side of the fear. All right? And I'll talk about when your twin flame comes in acting like a fool, okay? If this is you, this person's acting like a fool. All right, so look at the comments. Hey, Walt, you had to restart the video. Well, I'm glad you returned. And how can you be sure if it's your soul and not your ego? Good question. So I was able to sum this up this way. Your soul won't say things that are hurtful and painful. unless it's speaking to you in a like clear, like, why are you not listening to me? My soul yells at me sometimes. My intuition was like, we're trying to tell you, Machine, when you're gonna listen, something like that. And then I have to listen. But your soul is always loving. Like, do this, have an open heart. Here's what's happening with the person and that kind of stuff. Your ego, on the other hand, protects you by trying to destroy things. Okay, destroy connection. They're not reaching out. They're not calling. It's like there's this intensity with it. It's not just twin flames, with anything. Sometimes, like, I'm able to hear ego in, especially people I'm connected with, my family members and stuff like that, even my twin. I'm able to hear ego when it gets so heavy, like they're doing that, this is happening. I'm like, oh boy. So we're in that now, which is a normal part of being human. So no judgment. And I'm at the point where I recognize my ego, and so I'll tell people, this is my ego moment, okay? Let me have my ego moment. I'll be back in soul when I'm ready, or whatever the case is. I don't always mention soul. Just when the ego shows up, I'm like, just me being my ego. And so the ego usually comes in really strong, in a defensive way, protective, like, I can't do this. This is doing something to me. They're doing something or not doing. That's ego. So the soul is always like loving, warm, calming, that kind of stuff. You see how the difference in it? It's just, it comes in, sometimes it comes in as a whisper. And so you're like, did I hear that? Yes, you did. Did it say that I should reach out? I get that a lot from people. Like, did I just hear that? Yes, you did. Okay. So it can come in as a whisper like that. We doubt ourselves a lot. Do not doubt yourself. The more you work with it, with your intuition, the more you're going to recognize. And that's one of the things I do with clients, is provide them with the tools to practice this ego, this soul thing, not ego, this intuition. Okay. I'll share these with you. All right. And so there's 3 ways you can take this from the video. Okay. One is to actually use it. Use your intuition. Ask questions. What should I do now? And begin to follow the guidance. That's one. Another is when you hear a guidance, and I love using the cooking example, like you're cooking food and you hear, oh, add more salt or more garlic powder. And you're like, who asked you? You just hear a guidance come in. Get used to following it. Okay, this is an instruction that came in. This is a guidance. Let me use it. So that's one. Another is when you know and feel something intuitively, or you hear it and it actually happens. So one of the ways the universe had helped me was when I was in a parking lot. I went to the store like a few times that week. Don't know why. Thank goodness I don't do these things anymore. And so every time I came out of the store, I would hear, this person is going to ask you for your carriage. I'm like, okay. Happen every single time. So when that happens, this is a moment where you connect with your subconscious mind, your inner child, your inner person, whatever works for you, and say, oh, okay, look at that. The intuition is working. So every time it produces something for you, like something you know and feel, and you see it happen, it's like you're rewiring your brain pattern that says, I don't believe it, to believe it. It's like your brain needs evidence to see that your intuition is correct. So you give it that evidence. The same thing works with manifesting. If you're trying to manifest money, for example, and money shows up, you connect with your subconscious mind, inner child, inner person, whichever resonates, and you say, look at that, there's money. Okay, especially if you're coming from money trauma and your mind says there's no money, no one's going to pay, nothing's happening. And then here's someone paying. Here's someone offering to pay. Here's money that on the street that you walk by. It's the universe helping you in a way. It's your mind shifting. And when you see that, you're like, okay, all right, you're rewiring, you're reprogramming your mind to see that money is everywhere. And then when you do that, it shows up everywhere. So it's similar with that, with the intuition. You're confirming, you're providing confirmation with your mind. Hey, look, my intuition was correct. Wow, look at that. It was correct again. And that kind of stuff until it becomes second nature. Like for myself, it's at this point, I'm a psychic medium. I've worked with tarot. I've increased my, I'm getting off topic here. Now you got me all in this. I love it. I love it. And so I did lots of readings, over 100 readings. Every single time people were like, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, and things like that. And so that helped. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't like this message. Like, I have to deliver this message. And so I was guided to deliver it no matter how it comes out. Now it's just instant download for me. Like, I don't even need as many cards, or I don't even need cards once I get into channeling and things like those. But in the beginning, I needed a whole lot of cards in order to get the information, like so many of them and stuff like that. But when you're working with your intuition, you begin to see it's guiding you and it's telling you the truth and things like those, and what it looks like, what it feels like, things like those. All right, so let's get back into this, and hopefully this was super helpful for you. So start practicing with your intuition, because you're gonna need to follow it and but heal the resistance inside, because a lot of people experience resistance when reunion is happening. It's like, is it going to work out? Are they going to run again? Anything like those. It's like that small voice that's talking to you. Okay? It's coming from fear. So many times when the very thing we've been asking for shows up, we become afraid of losing it, of it not unfolding, of anything like this. This is not a moment to be afraid. Okay? So when you're guided, begin to follow that guidance. No expectations, no control, nothing like that. And to be okay with that, however it is. All right. So then your twin flame comes in acting like a fool. And that happened to a lot of people, where they're like, this is what I was waiting for. And so I'm not manifesting it. Clear it if this is not you. You've been doing a lot of healing. You're like, no, not my twin, right? I'm here to share reality. And if this is you, if it's not you, great. If it is, it's because they're showing you parts of yourself that hasn't been transformed yet, that hasn't been healed. Okay? The mind goes into, they're having me back this up a little bit. So the energy becomes stronger again. You're like, wow, this energy, like I'm really feeling like when the person's in your space, the energy is really strong, where you literally just want to take their clothes off. I'm talking about sexual energy comes in really strong, and you just want to take their clothes off. And perhaps they want to do that with you too. And you feel like everything's worked out, like it's all great. I did all this healing and things like those. My recommendation is to take it slow. Okay? During those moments, take it slow. Where a lot of people dive into it, it throws the connection off a bit and stuff. It doesn't mean everything is over. It throws things off a bit, and now your soul finds another way. And so this energy is really strong, but what you really want to keep in mind, this is what I've seen and that kind of stuff, is you're building a foundation for your connection. You're building a foundation, especially if you and this person have not interacted with each other in a long time. So you're building that foundation. Let it build. There's no rush. All right. And you're taking care of any fears and whatever they're showing you, what they're mirroring you. Because if there are certain aspects, like some people say, oh, my twin, this is just an example, like they cheated on me or something. And I'm not promoting it. And it's wrong, and I don't want it for anybody, and things like that. Or it not even cheating, like you don't have the title yet or something like that, but things look a certain way you don't want it to look. This is just one example. You go within and transform that and heal that. They're showing you patterns that are inside of you. Do not take any of this stuff personally, okay? I would love to sugar and coat everything for you. I really do, but I don't. Like, I want your success more than the sugar and coating. All right. I put out some content to sugar and coat because it is sugar and coating when you're not taking it personally. I mean, what comes after is the sugar and the coating, whatever that coating is. Maybe I'm saying the phrase wrong. The sugar comes. The sugar comes. But with reconnection, when you let the ego get the best of things, like why are they doing? You're believing everything you see in the physical. It's painful. It's a painful experience. Now, if it is a painful experience, this is what you know about pain on my channel, okay? Pain is releasing. Please write that down somewhere. Pain is releasing. Let's stop acting like pain. I can't feel any pain. I have to be really good. No, where else is it gonna go? That was the thing that working with my own coach and that kind of stuff, I came to learn is that when you keep the pain inside, you shove it down below, that you even forget it's there until it reappears again, where is it going to go? If you don't release that pain, where else is it going to go? It's going to stay in you, okay? So let the pain leave. Work through it. You're doing great, okay? And so once you're healing the pattern your twin flame is showing you, that pattern doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't show up. The mind is going to say, but what if they, listen, it doesn't show up, okay? It doesn't. And then you move into believing in your magic and how amazingly powerful you are, and how this entire journey that many of you have said, this is so painful, I don't get it. Social media makes it look like it's a beautiful thing, but I have a lot of pain. Okay, that's been leading you towards that love. All right, so I was not a part, and one of my favorite saying, I wasn't a part of the God's committee when he created all of this, or the soul. I would have wanted a different way. I would have said, God, can we plan this out a little differently, and that kind of stuff. I wasn't a part of it, but I'm a messenger sharing it with you, what that looks like. Okay. And so certainly do not give up on your journey. Your soul is guiding you right now. Everything you're going through is a part of your internal guidance. Everything. Everything you feel internally, messages you learn and stuff like that, that applies to you, healing you've done, coach you work with me, by the way, are all part of your soul showing you the way. And so you've never been failing. And please get away from the idea that you're failing any part of this journey. It doesn't matter. Twin flame, manifesting, making lots of money, all this. You're never failing. You're not. It's all a part of it. And go into it and allow your soul to take you on that path, because it will. It will. All right. So I'm not seeing any other questions. It's only been 30 minutes, so I will continue. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's talk about them now. Okay. Let me see. What happens after reconnection? If you're feeling like, and this is many of you, you have a calling to do, you have a purpose, especially with this person, you're beginning that calling and purpose together. When I say that your soul has been letting you know everything, where you're like, I feel like I'm meant to be working with my person. I feel like we're meant to, like, whatever. If you're saying, I feel, yeah, that's it. That's your soul. Okay. And so the person comes in, and I want to say from my own experience, it's just been amazing. Because even with myself, where I'm like, I just want to do this alone. It doesn't happen that way. All right. I don't wind up working alone. There's this constant reminder from God that you're not here to do this by yourself. Okay. That I had to overcome. So this brings me to something a lot of the hyper independent folks out here. I'm going to talk to you. All right. So I see a question. Why are so many people within the Christian community believe twin flames aren't real when I know what I've been feeling? There are a lot of people who don't believe it's real because they haven't experienced it. Or perhaps they're experiencing it, but they interpret it differently. I know some people on a twin flame journey who won't come out of the ego. Maybe, well, not maybe. A lot of times the guidance I hear is that this is just their journey. Okay. That perhaps it's not this lifetime, maybe next lifetime. And I'm not talking about clients, by the way. This is in my personal life where they're just like, nope, I don't care who they are. I don't care. I'm feeling their energy. How dare they? I ran into them. They seem to cross my path. Why are they following me? And all this kind of stuff, like ego-based. I'm done with the person. And so it's just how their journey is and their interpretation. And perhaps it's not the moment for them to really see it. When you're experiencing this journey, this connection, you know it's real. You know it's real. And I tell people this, you did not wake up one day and say, oh, I just want someone who's not around. I just really want to have these strong energies and go chase the person. How lovely it is that I magically create them in my dreams. Like they just happen, like I can put them in my dreams, or I'm seeing the repeated numbers because I'm looking at the clock constantly until I see a repeated number. Nobody, okay? None of you say that. No one wakes up wanting to experience a deep connection with someone they feel like that's out of their reach. All right? You're not making up this journey. And when someone else hasn't gone through it to see all of that stuff, then it makes it really hard for them to believe. I have, again, I'm surrounded by twin flames in my personal life, like everywhere, literally. And so one person I was talking to, who's a friend of a family member, a friend of my cousin was like, you have to talk to her because her experiences. So I'm talking to her and she's driving. She shouldn't be on her phone, but she was driving. And I'm like, listen, you're on a twin flame journey. And she was like, I don't know. How do you know, 𝐿? And I said, I recognize that you're on that path. And there was police behind her. And she gets really nervous driving with police behind her. So she takes the next exit, parks her car, and looks up at the sign. And it says, welcome to, I believe it was like something like Twinsville or maybe Twin City or twin something. I don't remember what it was exactly. She was like, 𝐿, you won't believe what just happened. And I said, what? She was like, this sign says this. And I was like, yeah, because y'all think this is made up. This is not made up. Your experiences are not made up. Your soul, because your soul remembers what it's here for. And these signs, messages, synchronicities, repeated numbers, all of that is reminding you. Because us in our human form, we don't remember. Okay? We don't remember. Our soul is saying, I'll help you remember who the heck you are. I'm going to help you remember that path you're on, the journey you're on, what you came here to do. And so you see all these messages around to remind you of what's really going on here and what is leading to what your purpose is, because there's a purpose for many of us. And I chose my connection because of that purpose. This is one of the reasons, because of love too, but this is one of the reasons. Because it's that purpose burns so much inside. This is why you can see a lot of twin flames working together. Maybe not a lot. It's building. There are a lot working together. Perhaps some is behind the scenes. One is up front. The other is just in the background, doing work somewhere in the background, assisting and things like those, because of that burning passion for fulfilling a purpose in life that just does not go away. If this is you, it doesn't go away. So don't fight it. And for some of you, like myself, I got started first. I was guided to go into it. The spirits woke me up 3 o'clock every single morning until I dived in literally every morning I lay down at 2 in the morning. I'm up at 2:59, 3:01. I'm like, how on earth? Like, I just fell asleep and I was awake again to tell me to get going. So some of you may have to walk that path first before your person wakes up and returns, or follow the inner guidance. Again, reflection of yourself, by the way, wakes up and continues on that path as well with you. Okay. Some of you feel guided. I can't take that step until they're here. That's your intuition. That's your soul. Honor that. You don't have to push yourself. You can begin to prepare and stuff like that if you choose to. And for some of you, there's nope. I'm totally not doing nothing until they come. Again, that's your soul. Okay. Or you have to be real careful if that's not your ego. Because if your soul is saying you need to get started, you need to get started. All right. And all right, it has been revealed to some Christians, but not many. Right. And thank you, because I know, but I refuse to talk to anyone about it, because I tried with a friend once and she didn't get it. You know, even if I know I did too, right? I did too. When I first, like before I knew the terminology twin flame, I knew there was something weird going on when I met my twin flame. Because, oh my goodness, like the littlest thing about me was in him. The littlest thing, down to the nitty gritty, tiniest thing. I'm like, how on earth? It was like everything was the same with him. And it was freaking me out. I was just like, why does it feel like I'm dating myself? Like, you have no idea. Like, I have to give an example. So if you're familiar with Minesweeper, the Minesweeper game. And so we were just so good at Minesweeper that we wouldn't play expert level. We had to play the medium level to win. Okay? Because if you're familiar with Minesweeper, this is me connecting with you guys right now. This is bring memories, right? If you're familiar with the Minesweeper game, when you get down to the last 2 boxes and one of them has a mine, you can't decide which one. And if you click on the wrong one, you just wasted, I don't know, 5 minutes of your time, or maybe it's not a waste. Maybe you like the thrill. And then the mine explodes all over the place. And so at a medium level, you have a chance to win. And so when he mentioned that, I was just like, what? Not this too. And stuff like that. And so, all right, what brought me into this story? And so, yes, your question, sacred time. So I mentioned it to my friend. I said, listen, there's something about this connection. This connection is not like any other connection. And she said to me, you said that before. Right? I heard this before. Don't worry about that guy. Just move on like you did with anyone else. Come on, girl, you can do this, kind of thing. And I was like, no. Nope, not this. Something's happening here. And I had to research it. And I literally was Googling, why did it feel like I'm feeling like I'm dating myself? And I came across the terminology twin flame. And so it's not something you made up. I do recommend that you be careful with even talking to someone on a twin flame journey about your connection. Again, I'm surrounded by twin flames everywhere. And why to be careful, if you talk about your journey, you want it to be with someone who is non-judgmental, who's open, who's embracing you, and so on, who embraces the journey together with you, and not someone who's angry at their twin flame and feels like this person destroyed their life, they're a piece of crap, and all this kind of stuff. And you're over here opening up, hoping to bond together with them because you're both on a twin flame journey. This won't be helpful for you. And if they're comparing the journey and all this kind of stuff, sometimes this is what happens on the journey that not a lot of people talk about. Sometimes people are taken out of your physical space. You're no longer friends with them and stuff like that because of protection. Because the universe is like, you see the best in this person. We see what's behind closed doors that you're not seeing. That is not going to benefit your union. And so we're aligning you with the things and the people who will benefit. So you might be like, all right, well, they're on a twin flame journey. Like, why are we no longer friends and all this kind of stuff? Is because of protection. Whose protection? Maybe your protection, maybe their protection. We don't know. But the universe is going to clear that path for you and say, we see what's going on behind closed doors. And now it's up to you, if it's like a family member and stuff like that, to maintain the sacredness of your connection as much as you can. And if you open up, make sure someone non-judgmental, someone who doesn't hate men. All right, if you're a woman, it's someone that doesn't hate men. If you're a man, it's someone that doesn't hate, that's past their anger with women and all this kind of stuff, because their energy can affect the energy of your union. Okay, and all right, so let's see. All right, 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐫. Sacred time, perhaps it may best to keep it to yourself and God. Yes. Okay. And a trusting twin flame coach, by the way. When I first met my twin 3 years ago, I knew we were connected because we have the exact same taste in furniture. Yeah. You know, it feels so amazing when you have similar taste in things and you get to connect with that, experience it. You're like, whoa, you know, you just get each other in that kind of way. All right. And has compassion. Yep. My soul has been guiding me to reach out to her. It's been 2 years since the last time we talked. I reached out to her when I felt guided, but she never responded back. I love that you mentioned that. All right. When you're guided to reach out, you most of the time, for many of you, you don't know why you're being guided. Like, they're telling me to do all of this and I'm not seeing anything in return, is because our eyes like to see something. It wants some sort of result, something. Okay, this is from ego, I must say, that has to see something. But there are things happening in the background that we don't fully see or understand. And so I have guided someone, assisted someone to reach out to their twin flame because they were being told to do that. And when they did, in that moment, their twin was contemplating on, I don't know, ending their life. And that call saved them. And they were like, thank you for letting me know to do that and that kind of stuff. So there's that. There's also when you're guided to call, and this is the unfair part, okay? This is what happened to me. And so you're guided to reach out because they were manifesting it. They were like, oh, I wish they would call. Whether they know they're manifesting or not, sometimes we don't know we're manifesting. Just simply by saying, I wish this can happen. That's a manifestation unfolding right there. Is that wish it will happen. And so when you reach out, they're like, oh, shoot, I feel so nervous. Oh my goodness. I thought I was ready. I really wanted to reconnect, and they scare themselves off. Okay. Happened to me. So sometimes, yeah, and it looked like he was running and that kind of stuff because the nervousness, the intensity of the connection got to him. All right. But guess what? Manifesting worked. Your person may be like, well, I manifested you and you showed up and stuff like that. Hey, it just shows that it works. But then because you reached out, because your soul is guiding you, they're getting guided as well. And preparation is that next step. So you may not see it happening, but this person can be like, again, these are all different scenarios. Everyone is different. This person can be like, I got to get my act together. I need to figure out how I'm going to do all of this. Like this stuff is real. This is happening in that kind of stuff. Or perhaps when they manifested and you showed up, they're like, wow, you must be some sort of, the true story. Lots of twins happen where the divine masculine said, you are some kind of witch. And they're not. It's a spiritual journey, right? So when you're guided to reach out, it's because your soul knows, hey, you need this right now. any other areas in life, you're getting that guidance. Your soul says you need this right now. Okay? And you don't know why. And you don't know what's unfolding. And you just don't know, but you just do it. I'm being guided to share a story with all of you. This is Tamar Braxton, I believe her name is. It's not twin flame related, but bear with me. And so she did the song Let Me Know. I believe it was 15 years ago. And that song literally did not go anywhere. She did the song. She was guided. All right. Now, if you're familiar with the ringtone, and I believe it's across TikTok, it's in a lot of reels and stuff like that, but very big with ringtone. It's one of the #1 ringtones right now. Let Me Know. Okay. And she's rolling in dough with that thing. But at the time, she couldn't see it. And so it's a lot of what happens when your soul is saying, hey, reach out. And you're like, but I can't see what's unfolding. I'm afraid that no, got to work on that fear and the expectation and all this stuff. And just know that your soul is leading you towards something. And in the moment you're guided, it's needed for something. And that's about it. Okay. And I definitely keep it to myself now. Absolutely. And I know we are manifesting each other. You know what rings to me with that phrase, which you're right, you're manifesting each other. It's you manifesting reconnection, and they're mirroring the manifestation. So it's like, it's weird how that works. It literally is just you on this journey, and they are a reflection of you. And so in that manifestation where you're like, I desire, it's you desiring, creating like within, even though it feels like you're doing it for each other and stuff like that. There is a oneness piece in here where there is this one consciousness, this oneness, this one soul that's a bit challenging for some people to grasp. And I get it. And our mind makes it seem like there is this separation idea and stuff like that. But it's one. And it's you, it's your soul calling in, bringing into alignment of what you know inside of yourself. So the things that we manifest, and you're hearing this from, what's that terminology? Philosopher, because I consider myself a philosopher. I got my name because my father predicted I'll be a philosopher. He said a famous philosopher. All right. So these are the things that are happening in that oneness, unity consciousness is your soul bringing in everything you know and feel from within yourself becomes reflected on the outside. All right. And so, yes, you are manifesting, and it feels like they're manifesting too, but it's a reflection of your manifestation as well. This is why it's really, really important that you are aware of your thoughts, your beliefs, perhaps your fears, and things like that. Perhaps, well, yeah, in this case, perhaps, because of that reflection. And so when you move into it, if you do, which don't do that, or go to the roots of it, okay? They're not going to want me, then that's reflected. I don't know if they will, they don't hear me, I don't trust them. Reflection, reflected, okay? You're the creator of your reality. It's important to choose the thoughts and beliefs that align with that reality that you want. If you're feeling fear, is because it's coming up to be cleansed from your soul. Okay, that's all fear is. It's coming up to be cleansed, to looked at, transcended, connect. Your fear, your pain connects with people, connects with your twin flame, connects with your audience, but transcend the thing. All right, and be mindful of what you are telling yourself, because in this perceived idea of separation, and you're like, I don't know, I can't do anything about these negative thoughts, but maybe they'll overlook the negative thoughts. I'm afraid to tell you, not afraid, but I have to tell you, it's being manifested because there's no separation. It's just a oneness. And it's a oneness, not just with your twin flame, like with everything, everybody, everything, your reality, your relationship with money, if this is you, all that reflection, all right? But don't fear your fears and really look into them, transcend them, work with them. Let your fear be alongside you. Let it be a different version of you if you get to that point. If you're like, I really can't eliminate these fears. Well, guess what? Don't eliminate it. Just become a version of yourself that doesn't have the fear. That's there for the version of yourself that's still afraid. Okay? It doesn't have to go anywhere. All right? This is where you might interpret as to be an observer of the fear, the thoughts, and that kind of stuff. Like literally observe it. Because if you allow it and incorporate it within yourself and you sit in that, you're like, I don't know. And yes, that's being manifested. Okay. And sometimes that fear and the pain is so deep that this is the moment that you're choosing to sit in it. And you can't move away from it because that's how deep it is. All right. And sit with it, be with it, nurture it, and help transcend that fear. It does become lighter. It does. It does become manageable and stuff like that. And know that it will happen. So if you're in that pain, the fear, and all this kind of stuff, don't run from it. It's trying to leave you. All right. Okay. It's trying to leave you. Let it leave. All right. Okay. And so going back to this, she has her act together. She is actually in the top in her field in the country. She's kind of a celebrity, which is a big part of what beats the fear energy between us. Yeah. A lot of people on this journey have celebrity twin flames. Okay. They are people too. Celebrity twin flames are people experiencing the twin flame journey as well. You know, I've met people who have dreams with their twin flame celebrity. They haven't met the celebrity. They haven't had a discussion with them and all this kind of stuff, but they appear in their dream. And what I usually say, because it's a oneness, it's a one connection, and no one has come across and say, no, this is wrong. And I appreciate it. People do. Is that they're having that dream too. Okay. Somewhere out there, they're having this dream of someone they haven't met. This person's appearing in their dream. They're seeing repeated numbers and all this kind of, and they don't know how to find that person. Because when you're talking about a celebrity, especially a musician on stage, thousands of people, millions of people, where on earth is this person in the dream? Okay, so I would say to reach out. Number one, follow your soul. Your soul's going to tell you what to do. Okay, for the unfolding of that. But the thing with celebrity twin flames, especially musicians, I find, is if you know about energy, they're in a room full of energy. Full of energy. Like for a lot of us, it's like, I gotta keep my energy protected from these energy vampires, right? So we cleanse our energy, we protect ourselves. These musicians are around this energy, massive, different types of energies and stuff, heavy, light, you name it. And even though they might be able to get across those energies and deal with it and that kind of stuff, usually the twin flame person, even if they haven't met each other, is having to deal with all those energies they're around. And so this is where massive amount of energy protection. Anyway, like if this is you, I share it in case it's you, because you might be experiencing this and saying, okay, this is not normal. It's normal. It's normal. And so you're cleansing your energy and stuff. And what I notice starts to happen is the musician, twin flame, the celebrity starts to take care of their energy. And so that helps with the twin flame that goes unseen in the background and all this kind of stuff. So that usually helps a lot when they really begin to take ownership of energy protection and that kind of stuff. So it helps. All right. And so a little tip there, this is you. And we both said we prayed for this when we met. Oh, I love that. I love that. But after soul recognition, she got scared and we've been in contact. I can tell you stories about this connection that will make your brain explode. It's all real, guys, all real. The telepathy and synchronicities between us are incredible. Exactly. And so if you're feeling like I can't say anything to my person, maybe I'm making this up, I will tell you you're not. You're not. And they experience a lot of this stuff too. And when you overcome this fear of, I can't say anything, they're going to judge me, and work on healing that, you heal that from within, you can have as much discussion. Be like, hey, you were in my dream last night. I felt your energy this morning. Like, what's going on? You know, I feel like something's going on with you. I actually, like for myself, I actually hear where he gets guided and messages like, you need to let 𝐿 know. And so I'm like, you can't hide this from me, okay? You have something to tell me and stuff like that. It's hard sometimes on this journey when you feel like you can't communicate that, to believe that it's not one-sided. It's really hard to believe that it's not one-sided, but it isn't one-sided. You're both going through experiences with this connection. And when you open up about it without a care in the world, like, hey, these are what I've been experiencing. And you're being authentic and just real about it. Not like in a manipulative, I'm going to try to get you, so I'm going to tell you about my signs and everything so I can get you. Nothing like that. But these are what I've been experiencing. Just thought I'd let you know. Or something like this, all right? Whatever fits in with your soul's inner guidance right there. And so she confirmed the connection. Absolutely, it is not one-sided at all. It's not. I leave you with that, okay? And so this was really great. I feel like there was something I was going to go into. It's not ringing a bell right now, but I will certainly, and I'll watch the replay, or perhaps comment down below if you're watching the replay and you're like, 𝐿 was going to go into this, put it down there, and I will definitely go into it in another live or on a post somewhere to help all of you out on this journey. So thanks for being here today, and catch you next week.